Today I'm flying with Qatar Airways from Dubai to Jakarta, Indonesia, with a layover in Doha. My first flight will be in economy class, but the second one from Doha to Jakarta will be in what many people say is the world's best business class. It is my first time flying with Qatar Airways, and in this video I will take you all along for the whole journey, from the ground experience to the connecting flight, my transit time in Doha, and finally the main flight in business class. After hearing so many good things about Qatar Airways, I'm curious to see if it actually lives up to that reputation and if the whole experience will be worth the $1,600 I paid for it. So how good is Qatar Airways business class really? Join me and let's find out. Alright, and here we are at the airport. And yeah, the total length of today's journey will be about 13 hours, including the layover in Doha. And yeah, usually I'm not a big fan of these super long travel days, but today I'm actually looking forward to especially the second leg in business class later. But yeah, the first flight will be in economy class, so we can actually also compare both experiences today, economy class versus business class with Qatar Airways. Okay, the problem is now that I didn't book both flights on the same booking, so I'm actually not sure if I can check in already here for the second flight, which would be ideal because then I don't need to go through immigration later in Qatar and check in again. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi.
Check in, please. Okay, happy days. I was able to check in for both flights already here. That means I can stay in the transit area in Doha later, which makes the whole experience later way less stressful. And yeah, by the way, technically I am not in Dubai at the moment. This is the Sharjah airport. Sharjah is right next to Dubai, and yeah, both of the airports are about 20 minutes away from each other. So technically we are starting in Sharjah, not in Dubai. Okay, I'm through immigration. That was literally an immigration process of 10 seconds, thanks to the e-gates they have here. And yeah, the reason why I am starting in Sharjah and not in Dubai is because the first flight was literally less than half of the price when starting in Sharjah instead of at the Dubai airport. So if you want to fly out of Dubai, it can be worth it to have a look at flights out of the Sharjah airport as well, because in my experience they are way cheaper. And this is also an international airport, so many international destinations: Istanbul, Delhi, Cairo, Kathmandu, Doha of course, Riyadh, so many international destinations also available here. But I do have the impression that this airport is a bit more chaotic and a bit less organized compared to the Dubai airport, which is one of the world's best airports. Okay, and here I am at my gate 7, and in total from arriving at the airport to getting to the gate was about 15 minutes, including everything: security, check-in, immigration. So that was actually quite fast. Okay, and time to board, and looks like we are going to depart on time, and the length of the first flight is only about 1 hour. And touching the plane for good luck as usual. Okay, that's the business class here. Now we have to walk past it, and this is the economy class here. First impression, I like the color of the seats here, the red color. That looks nice. And I also see that every seat here has a headrest. Okay, and this is my seat right here. So I always pay, or usually I pay extra to get an exit seat because of my height. I'm 1.90 m or 6'3" for my American viewers. So it's always worth it for me to spend a little bit extra money to have this extra leg room. And what I also really like about emergency exit rows is no children allowed in this row. And then we do have a little screen right here. This is seat 12F. I can switch it to even to German here, but let me put it to English. And you have information about the trip here. You have entertainment systems for children as well. So we have movies, we have TV, we have audio, but I usually like to have the flight map on my screen because I usually don't watch the movies on the entertainment system on the flight. I always download movies in advance on my phone, usually YouTube videos to be honest. So I usually just put on the map on the screen. And here we have the map. So Sharjah right next to Dubai, and then the short flight only to Doha right here. And first impression, the seat actually feels quite comfortable. I like that we have a headrest here. That is not the case on many other airlines I've flown with. And flying time about 1 hour only, so let's make it to Doha, Qatar. Okay, and right after takeoff we got a little snack served, some Arabic bread and some dips. Quite delicious actually, and I was not expecting to get a lot of food on a short flight like this, less than an hour. So this was quite a good surprise, I have to say. The journey is smooth so far, no turbulences, good weather outside. And we are going to arrive in Doha shortly already.
Station Doha, Qatar Sharjah. Your local time now is 45 minutes past 1 p.m. for the night. Thank you for choosing Qatar Airways.
Thank you very much. And we have arrived in Doha, Qatar. Let's see what the transit experience will be like here. Yeah, the flight experience in economy class was overall quite good. I think I would also be comfortable to fly in economy class with them on a longer route. But now I'm very excited for the business class experience later. My transit time here is about 3.5 hours now. And yeah, this airport is known to be one of the world's best. So I'm actually quite excited to check it out. And then of course we're also going to check out the main Qatar Airways Business Class lounge. Okay, so I need to follow the transfer signs, not to baggage claim. And yeah, since I already have my boarding pass for the second flight, I can actually stay in transit area. I don't need to go through immigration and then check in again. Okay, we do have the transit area here, and first and business class transfer has a separated area. Okay, let's have a look at the map. Yeah, the airport is quite large, and I am currently here. And then looks like you can take a train, and then I'm looking for the lounge actually. I'm not sure where the lounge is located, and I also don't know my gate yet. Oh, we have actually quite a few different lounges here, and I think I want to find this one, the Al Murjan Business Lounge, which I think is the main business class lounge for Qatar Airways in this case. So that is located at E, which is I think right here. I think I don't need to take the train then. But yeah, then the question is also, what's my gate? I think my gate is not even on the board yet, because boarding starts in about 3.5 hours. Let me have a look if my flight is already on here. Oh yeah, this is a huge airport. We have so many flights going all over the world. That is crazy. We have Jakarta here. Gate shown at 2:35. That is in 4 minutes. Okay, so we have the Al Safra lounge, which is for first class Qatar Airways, and then this one is the one for business class. But actually, let's have a look around the airport first, because this is known to be such a good airport. I'm actually curious to have a quick look around. So first of all, we have a huge duty-free shop here, I think it is. The usual stuff you can buy here. Perfumes, chocolates, candy, usually also some souvenirs of the country you're in. But in my experience, I don't know, duty-free shops always have this reputation of being so much cheaper. But in my experience, that's actually not the case anymore. I think it used to be like that 15, 20 years ago. But nowadays, I think the price differences are not actually that huge, if there are even any. And then we do have a few shops here. You can buy sunglasses, you can buy bags here. There's even a Victoria's Secret shop here. Oh, looks like you have showers and a spa area here as well. So if you have a really long layover, you can get a massage here, showers, manicure, pedicure, table massage, full body, 30 minutes for 355 Qatari Riyal. Of course, that is quite expensive, but what do you expect? We are at such a good airport, of course you pay a premium price. And then looks like a convenience store here, where you can buy all types of things. Water, snacks, candies, nuts, chewing gum, everything available. Oh, I would say it's almost like a shopping mall here. Then we have a food court here, you can buy food here. There's a coffee shop. Yeah, literally it's called the Food Park Doha. And we have luxury brands here, Swarovski, the U Studio. No idea what it is, but the U with the 2 dots is a German, how do you say that? A German letter. We call it Ü. The U with the dots. I don't know, maybe that's a German brand. I never heard of this brand before though. And then wow, you can really see this airport is built with a lot of money. I mean, there's literally a Porsche parking over there. And I see some more luxury cars over there. Look at that. Just casually, a Porsche parking here. German brand. Porsche from Germany. Together with some luxury watches here. Probably not the cheapest ones. And then we even have some more German luxury cars over there. We have a Mercedes here. Look at that. I'm wondering why these cars are here. I mean, can you buy them here? Who is in transit at an airport and randomly thinks, let me buy a Mercedes here? And here's another one, McLaren. Wow, I have to say this is a very beautiful car. Do we have a price listed here or anything? No, just some information about the car, but not a price. So I'm actually wondering why these cars are here. Just for show? I don't think you can actually buy them here. And then if you have a look around here, it literally is like a shopping mall inside the airport. A luxurious shopping mall, I would say. And it seems to be very organized here. It's a relatively calm atmosphere, I would say, for an airport. The roof up there looks like that. And then this is a Louis Vuitton shop here. Wow. Looks quite unique, right? Yeah, this is what the Louis Vuitton shop looks like here. Wow, I'm really impressed by this airport, and keep in mind this is just one corner of the airport. We could take the train, which I think is up there, and then go over to a different corner of the airport, which probably looks similar like this. So this is a huge airport as well. And what is that? Is that a giant teddy bear? And then again we have another car here, a Formula 1 car. Yeah, the Formula One also makes a stop here in Doha. I don't know much about Formula One, but I'm pretty sure that there's a race here in Doha, Qatar. And yeah, this literally is a giant teddy bear. Wow. Yeah, so I would say this is quite an impressive airport. Wow, I really like it. So I think this is going to be a comfortable layover experience here. Ah yeah, we have the signs everywhere, so it's very easy to find actually. Hello. Hi.
Thank you, no boarding announcements.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Alright, what she said was actually quite important. She said no boarding announcements, so I need to have a look at the screens inside the lounge myself, which is actually usually the case that they don't announce the boarding announcements on the speakers there, so it's usually quite quiet in these lounges. But that also means you have to keep your eye on the screens. It's not like sitting at the gate where you can potentially also hear it. Okay, let's have a look inside. Yeah, I probably need to speak a bit quiet here, but first impressions are awesome.
Welcome, sir.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Are
Hello.
you familiar with our facilities?
No, it's my first time here.
It's your first time
Yeah.
here. Allow me to inform you about what we have. We have a baggage room here if you want to store your bags. Upstairs is our main dining. We're serving buffet and a la carte. All the way straight at the end, we have another dining for some light meals, salads, and sandwiches. And then by the corner, we have smoking area.
Smoking area,
After
okay.
that, we have toilet and showers. And then business center would be over there.
Wow.
Then if you want to rest for some time, we have reclining chairs as well from this area. And then inside the business center, yeah?
Oh, this looks like a huge lounge.
Yeah, it is.
Wow,
We
is
have
this-
2 business class lounges actually
one,
if you
okay.
want to visit both.
Okay, what's the difference between them?
The difference, it's just that the other side, that's the new business class lounge. They have gym, spa, and
have a
Louis
gym and
Vuitton
a spa
lounge.
even?
Yes.
Wow.
The spa and Louis Vuitton lounge, it's chargeable. The rest of the facilities would be complimentary.
Okay, okay. Well, okay, have a look around. So yeah, I'm quite impressed already. I mean, this is such a nice area to spend a few hours waiting for your flight. And then we also have some more quiet area or private areas here. If you want to sit in more privacy. And then we can check out this already. You can get, I think, coffee here, coffee and water. And yeah, we have some soft drinks already here, Sprite, Coca-Cola, Fanta, what is this? Tonic water. But I'm also curious to have a look at the buffet. Maybe I'm gonna grab a snack. Okay, I'm not really hungry for a full meal now, but this looks actually interesting. It's a rice pudding. Not sure what it is. I think I never ate this before. Let's give it a try. It actually reminds me a bit about milk rice in Germany. Oh, thank you so much. And I have a refreshing towel here. So yeah, that was my hope actually, because when I was a child in Germany, I really liked to eat milk rice. In Germany we have a dessert called milk rice, if you translate it literally, and that is with rice with milk, and it's a very sweet dessert. And this one actually reminds me a bit of it. I'm not sure if this is like a local Qatari type of dessert, but it is delicious. Okay, so yeah, this lounge is quite impressive. It's huge. So the area where I just ate the milk pudding, in that area they only have a small selection of snacks. But yeah, I just had a look around the whole area, and there are so many different rooms here. There's even an area where you can basically get your own private room with a couch and the TV inside. Then you can take a shower here. There's a business center with plenty of seating opportunities. Basically in every corner you can find little stations where you can get snacks, cookies, tea, coffee, and then of course also the main restaurant here where you can order a la carte, and there's also a buffet with different hot and cold foods. And there's so much staff here. They're all very friendly and have a positive attitude and smiling towards you. So I have to say I'm actually very impressed by this lounge. Maybe you remember a few months ago when I flew to New York, I was in the main Singapore Airlines business class lounge in Singapore, and that lounge was also quite huge, but it was totally overcrowded. It was even very difficult for me to just find a seat. And here, I mean, I don't know if that's always the case here, but there are so many seating opportunities and quiet areas, so there's literally nobody around me at the moment. So this is a great place to spend a few hours layover here in Doha. And also small little details like this are what I really love. So I can just charge my phone by just placing it here. It's charging now. So I mean, this is nothing I didn't knew about existed, but this is so cool. I want to have this in my home as well. Just put your phone here and it's charging. And you also have a really cool view over the different planes here, and then the city skyline in the background. So if you like to watch airplanes, this is also a cool place. And yeah, I'm not really keen for a full food experience here now. I'm not really hungry and I'm also sure there will be plenty of food available later on the flight, but I can imagine that the food here is also pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to spend the next almost 3 hours here now. Luckily I have internet, so I can just watch videos on my phone, and I'm sure there's public Wi-Fi here as well, but to be honest, I'm never a big fan of using public Wi-Fis, especially in airports, because you never really know how secure they are. So I'm actually quite happy that I have an eSIM with unlimited data, and honestly in every country I travel to nowadays I always use eSIMs. It's way more convenient compared to buying physical SIM cards in each country, and I'm getting all my eSIMs from Olafly. They have over 200 destinations available, different data plans to choose from, many also with unlimited data, which I really like, and Olafly tells you exactly step by step how to install the eSIM. It literally takes only 1 or 2 minutes, and I also really like about Olafly that they have regional SIM cards. So you maybe saw my previous videos. I was here in Qatar and I was in Saudi Arabia and in the UAE, and the whole time I did not have to switch my eSIM because of the regional SIM card that I had. And they offer these regional SIM cards for different areas around the world, so you don't have to switch the eSIM every time you switch to a new country. So I can highly recommend Olafly, and if you want to check them out as well, you can click the link in the description or on the pinned comment, and if you use that link you can also get an exclusive discount, which you can also get by simply applying the code CANABROAD at checkout when purchasing an Olafly eSIM either on their app or on their website. Just make sure that your phone actually does support eSIMs, but most phones nowadays do, so grab an Olafly eSIM and travel stress-free. Okay, and that was a really cool lounge experience, but now it's time to board the flight. Okay, actually I still have some Qatari money left from when I was here recently, and there's a money exchange here, so maybe I can change it to USD. Hello, good evening. Can I get US dollar here? Yeah. I have 150 real. How much would I get for this?
You'll get 35 including the
35? Yeah. So I'm losing $6. That's okay.
Can you buy your passport?
Yeah, sure. Here we go. So the official rate would give me about 41.
And 20 reals is the commission.
20 reals? Commission? Okay. So yeah, of course they also want to earn money here, so you always get a bit less than the official rate. Okay, here's the dollar. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Alright, and here I have 35 US dollar. Yeah, I always change the leftover money that I have from a country to US dollar, because this currency you can literally exchange in every country in the world. If you end up anywhere in a random country, they will always happily take US dollar and exchange it to their local currency. So it's always good to travel with some USD on you. And now I need to find gate C4. And yeah, oh, look, it's literally written in huge letters up there. C, D and F. No, E. C, D and E. And my boarding starts in 2 minutes, so we are very good in time. And yeah, overall I can say this was a very comfortable layover experience here in Doha, especially with this world-class lounge. And here is the gate, C4, Jakarta. Hello, yes. Do I need to put it here? Oh, looks like we don't have to go through here again. Nobody is checking anything. And yeah, our plane is waiting already. It's an Airbus A350-900, so not the biggest plane in the world, but definitely also not a small one. Okay, let's board. So first class and business class. I think there's no first class on this flight though, only business class. No, it's very cold in this tunnel here. Oh, they're really blasting the AC. Touching the plane for good luck.
Welcome aboard.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Straight down to your right, 9 kilo. Yes,
the
straight
right?
down to your right. Yes.
Not on the left? It's not a
You
window?
want to fly?
No, I mean like,
straight
yeah.
down to your right. There is
Oh, I
no
would love to
exit.
fly, yeah. But I mean the seat is a window seat, right?
Yes, sir, it's a window seat.
Okay, okay.
Hi, welcome aboard.
Good evening, hello.
Okay, you will be the second cabin, yeah? Thank
The
you
second
very
one?
much. Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Alright, so this is the business class. We have a 1-2-1 configuration here, and I am at seat 9K, which is the last one, I think. Hello. Hello, good evening. Oh, is there a bar area here?
It's the social area. It's not
Social area, oh, okay, okay.
So sorry, can I see? It's gonna be 9 here. So this is gonna be your assigned seat for today's flight.
Okay, looks good. Alright, so this is my little home for the next, the flying time is about 8.5 hours. And let's get comfortable here. So the seat makes a really good first impression, I have to say. It looks spacious, it looks comfortable, and we have a pillow here, and he just took away or stored away the blanket and the extra pillow, which I can use of course later in case I want to rest and take a nap maybe. And then what I really like here is you can actually store your things. We have an amenity kit here which we will have a look at later. I can store my bag just right here. Put my headphones here as well. And then yeah, look at the leg space that I have here. That is amazing. So even for a tall person like me, you can lie flat here. I'm pretty sure the seat can lie flat. We're gonna test it later as well. And then we do have a refreshing towel here already. And yeah, the seat in front of me, quite large. Let me change the language, English. And then yeah, it's gonna be the usual configuration. We have your trip, information about the trip. You can look at the cameras. I think there are cameras outside the plane, so you can have a live view from the outside area. And then you have entertainment, you have something for kids, so everything you can need on a long flight. And you can also use the remote control here, but yeah, this one is actually touch, which I prefer, to be honest. And then here you can adjust the seat to your liking, and yeah, we do have a bed configuration here as well. And yeah, you can even adjust the size of the armrest here. That is also pretty nice. Oh, okay, I have to say, first impressions here, really good. You don't have a lot of privacy here though, so there's no like separation from the hallway or from the seat next to you. But of course, that is complaining on a very high level. I think it's still decently organized here without being too close to your neighbor. And at the moment, the seat over there is empty anyway. Yeah, sure.
So as you request, it's gonna be still water with some slight of lemon.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much.
I would like to highlight the menu card. It's just right behind you. You can tell me the best time for you.
I think you're right after takeoff is
Right
fine.
after takeoff, so I will just
I
give you
pre-order it already.
the lobster sandwich.
Right. Exactly.
I got it, yes.
Okay.
So just let me know. I'll give you some minutes and I'll come back to you to discuss the preference. Thank you.
Alright, I have my water here now with some lemon inside. So that was already kind. I asked if he can add lemon inside, and yes, no problem. Okay, I also just noticed there's a little box here to store some things, and there's another place to store probably your shoes here. I think that's a good idea, so I will put my shoes from here to here actually. And right here we have a bottle of water and the headphones. Okay, and I think we are almost ready to depart, and yeah, the crew just offered me a Arabic coffee and some dates, but yeah, I declined. I think it's way too late now to drink coffee. It's almost 7 p.m. local time here in Qatar, in Dubai, where I started. It's already 1 hour later, and it looks like we also have a bit of a delay because the scheduled departure time was 5 minutes ago already. But I think on such a long flight, it doesn't really matter if you depart like 10-15 minutes sooner or later. And yeah, they actually have Kevin Hart making the safety video right here. And I have to say, this is probably the best safety video I've ever seen on an airplane, because it's actually more like a comedy skit. It's quite funny. So I have to say, this was a smart idea from Qatar Airways to hire Kevin Hart. And yeah, this live camera is actually pretty cool, so I can see how we are rolling to the runway now. It's a bit dark now to see it outside this window, but yeah, with the camera here, that's actually quite cool. And we are taking off now with about a 20 minutes delay, but yeah, that's okay, I think. Okay, let's enjoy the journey, and I'm already looking forward to the meal. Okay, and we are in the air, and yeah, I just had my meal already. So first of all, there's a great selection of different foods here. If you want to have a detailed look, you can pause the video now and then have a look at the menu. But plenty of different options, and they're actually going to serve food 2 times on this flight. We have a dinner, and then later there's going to be a breakfast as well. But to be honest, I told them that I probably don't need the breakfast because it's going to be in the middle of the night for my inner clock, so I'm not going to be hungry, so I'm fine with just the dinner. And yeah, I'm able to order the food at any time that I like, but I asked to have the dinner right after takeoff. And yeah, then I just had a 4-course meal. First of all, I got a selection of different breads, which were extremely delicious, and a chicken Caesar salad, which was also quite good. And then as the main course, I decided to go with a lobster sandwich. I think this was my first time ever trying a lobster sandwich, to be honest, and it was actually served on a sourdough bread. And to be honest, the bread was a bit hard. I would have preferred if it would have been a softer type of bread, but overall it was still delicious. And then I got a selection of different types of cheese and fruits, which was also quite good. And then as a dessert, I had a chocolate cake with ice cream, and that was a super delicious cake. And yeah, I feel very satisfied now. I feel very full. That was an awesome meal experience overall. And yeah, in case I get hungry during the flight, I could order some snacks as well. And yeah, like I said, there is a second meal, a breakfast served later, but I'm probably going to skip that. And yeah, there's also Wi-Fi available here on the flight actually. Unfortunately, no Starlink Wi-Fi. Some Qatar Airways flights have free Starlink Wi-Fi in business class. Unfortunately, unfortunately not on today's flight. So I have the choice to get 1 hour free Wi-Fi or to pay $10 to have Wi-Fi for the whole flight, which I actually just did. But to be honest, the Wi-Fi is not super good. It's also not properly working the whole time, and it's not fast enough to stream like YouTube videos, but it is good enough to scroll a bit on Instagram and to send messages on WhatsApp. But yeah, unfortunately no Starlink Wi-Fi on this flight, which I actually looked forward to, because I heard with that Wi-Fi you can even stream videos. It's that fast. And yeah, I actually also wanted to say thank you to you, because this year has been an incredible year here on the channel. This is going to be the last video of this year, and actually the next few weeks I'm gonna take some time off. I'm not going to travel and film videos probably until February, so there's going to be a break here on the channel. But yeah, it was an incredible year. 2025 has been the most successful year I ever had on YouTube and on social media in general. For example, I recently hit 1 million followers on TikTok, and also this YouTube channel grew a lot. We gained about 200,000 subscribers in 2025 alone, and here I'm living my dream. Like 5 years ago I was a broke backpacker traveling around Southeast Asia. I was living off like $1,000 a month, and now I can sit here and review a Qatar Airways Business Class flight for you. Sometimes it really feels like a dream to me. It's literally incredible what has happened the past few years here on the channel, and that is thanks to you. Thanks for watching my videos, for all the support, for all the love in the comment section always. I really appreciate that, and I can promise that after my break next year we're going to visit several more very interesting destinations. So stay tuned for the next year here on the channel. And yeah, I can also quickly show you what was inside the amenity kit. The amenity kit is from Diptyque, and it seems to be of a really good quality. It feels very good in my hand, and it looks like a really decent proper quality. And then yeah, inside there's a sleeping mask, there are some socks, some lotions, hand creams, and what I really like, the perfume, which smells really good. It's a fresh perfume. It smells a bit like figs and coconut, so a fresh and nice smell, and I actually really like this perfume, I think. So I'm actually going to use that one. And yeah, these amenity kits, to be honest, like sometimes I don't really keep them because yeah, what should I do with them? But this one seems to be actually of really good quality, so I'm actually going to keep this one. Okay, and the crew just turned my seat into a complete flat bed. They even put a little mattress on there, and then yeah, proper blanket. I have a pillow, so it actually feels quite comfortable, I have to say. Yeah, I think I could actually get a proper sleep here, but yeah, we don't really have that much time to sleep. They just told me that in about 2.5 hours they already will start waking up people and then prepare for landing, so I guess it's gonna be a short night. And yeah, I have a proper thick blanket here now, and yeah, even with my height, 1m90, 6'3", I can comfortably lie here, so no problem also for taller people. But I would say my height is probably the maximum. If you're taller than me, then you probably could not fully stretch here, but I try to get at least in a little nap now, so see you later. And good morning, and yeah, I had about 2.5 hours sleep. Well, not proper sleep, on and off. It's never that easy for me, to be honest, to sleep on a plane, even with a proper bed like this. But I'm not complaining. I'm happy that I at least got a little bit of sleep. And yeah, the weather outside looks very cloudy now, but we are about to start our departure into Jakarta. And then the total flying time will be quite exactly 8 hours and 20 minutes. And here I often get asked how I book these flights, especially these business class flights, and how I can find good deals. So in 90% of the cases, I book my flights directly with the airline. I'm usually not using points. I'm just paying them cash, and yeah, usually not on third-party website. Sometimes I use like booking.com or trip.com. You sometimes can find good deals there as well, but yeah, 90% of the times I book directly with the airline. And if you want to find a good deal, especially for business class flights, then I would recommend to play around with different dates. It's usually also always cheaper if you book a return flight, so then each of the 2 flights gets cheaper compared to just booking one way. And you can also play around with different journey lengths. So for example, instead of a 14-day journey, try out a 15 or 16 or 13-day journey. That sometimes changes the price a lot. And also just try to book on different dates. So if you track the prices for a few days, then you will notice that the prices literally change every single day. So what I usually do is I have a look at the prices for a few days in a row, and then I play around with different journey lengths, different journey dates. And what also helps is to book a flight with a layover. far. So for example, a few months ago, you saw me traveling in business class from Jakarta to New York via Singapore. And I know it doesn't really sound logical, but the flight Jakarta, Singapore, New York, all in business class was way cheaper than Singapore, New York directly in business class. So sometimes adding a layover reduces the price a lot as well. And that's how I usually find very good deals also for business class flights.
Currently we're cruising at 41,000 feet above sea level, which is after 7 o'clock in the morning, local time. It's fine weather in Jakarta with a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius.
Thank you very much. You did a really good job.
Thank you so
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Okay, let me get through immigration, etc., and then I will give you my final thoughts. So, Jakarta Airport Terminal 3, one of my favorite airports to arrive at, because it's always super quick here. If you need a visa for Indonesia, you can get it already in advance online. It's very quick and easy, and then you can use their e-gates, which are right over there. And these e-gates are never busy. I never saw a queue here, and it literally takes like 20 seconds to get through. So as you can see, there's almost nobody here, so no lines, no queues. And yeah, I also love how green it is here inside this terminal. Looks very lovely. It's always a nice arrival here. And yeah, if you do arrive here, keep in mind that you need an arrival card, which many countries require nowadays. So there's an app called All Indonesia, and there you need to fill out your arrival information, and then you will get a QR code, which you need to show around there. But in case you haven't prepared that QR code, there are also signs here where you can scan the QR code here, and then you can fill it out right here. So yeah, first of all, special shout out to the staff. They did an amazing job. Not only the staff inside the plane, also the staff already inside the lounge earlier. So Qatar Airways seems to have really nice staff. And then also Merry Christmas to everyone celebrating, and I wish you already also a Happy New Year. Have a great start into 2026. And yeah, overall, what can I say? This was an incredible experience. The lounge experience was, I think, the best lounge experience I ever had. The flight experience was amazing. The food was great. I am curious now though to fly Qatar Airways Q suites. On some routes they have Q suites, which are known to be their best business class product, but that's only on a few selected routes. So now I'm actually curious to maybe give that a try next time. So was it worth the $1,600 I paid for the whole flight? Well, of course that is a lot of money, but yeah, what I really like about flying business class is that the whole overall experience, not only the flight, also the check-in experience, the airport experience, everything just gets so more relaxed and easier. And then especially if you have a flight overnight, you can take a rest. So I think for that price it was actually worth it, and I would do that again. And yeah, I'm taking a holiday now. What's funny, most people go traveling for their holidays, and I, as a full-time travel vlogger, I stopped traveling for my holidays. So I'm not gonna travel the next at least 5-6 weeks. So I will see you again in February 2026. So go see the world yourself, take care, and until next time.